Paper chromatography having two types: paper adsorption chromatography, where the stationary phase is solid, mobile phase is liquid. The principle is adsorption. Paper partition chromatography, where stationary phase is liquid, mobile phase is also liquid. In general, the paper chromatography is considered as paper partition chromatography. The principle involved in paper chromatography is partition coefficient. The partition coefficient nothing but distribution of a compound in between two immiscible phases. Separation of compounds in the paper chromatography or paper partition chromatography mainly depending upon the solubility in the mobile phase or differential affinity of the components to the mobile phase and stationary phase. To perform paper chromatography, the following requirements should consider. First one is stationary phase. The stationary phase we are using in the form of a paper. The commonly used paper is Whatman filter paper. In general, rectangular shape Whatman filter papers or radial shape Whatman filter papers we are using to a qualitative analysis of compounds or separation of compounds by using paper chromatography. The Whatman filter paper used in the chromatography technique is consisting mainly alpha cellulose and beta cellulose. The alpha cellulose about 98 to 99 percentage and the beta cellulose is 0.3 to 1 percentage. Apart from the alpha cellulose and beta cellulose, it contains pentazans, ether soluble matter and ash. Whatman filter paper grades of 1, 2, 3, 17, 20 and so etc. are available to perform the paper chromatography. So the different Whatman filter paper grades are differentiated by their size, shape, porosity and thickness. Application of sample. The sample or a mixture what we are going to separate is applied on the paper. To apply the sample or a mixture of sample by using capillary tubes and micropipettes. A very low concentration and low volume of sample or a mixture of is applied on the paper or stationary phase. If you are using excess amount or large concentration, it will be leads to formation of a large zones or tailing effect on the paper. First, take the paper above 1 centimeter from the bottom, make a baseline. By using capillary tubes or micropipettes, apply sample or a mixture on the baseline. Mobile phase, this is the most important one. So to separate the compounds, compulsory we have to use mobile phase. The mobile phase will be traveling over the stationary phase. The commonly used mobile phase is a pure single solvent or buffers. A mixture of solvents are used to separate the compounds. Generally, hydrophilic mobile phases and hydrophobic mobile phases are we are using to separate the compounds. The example for hydrophilic mobile phases is isopropanol, ammonia, water in the ratio of 9:1:2. N-butanol, glacial acetic acid, water in the ratio of 4:1:5. Methanol and water in the ratio of 3:1 and 4:1. Example of hydrophobic mobile phases: kerosene and 70% isopropanol in the equal proportions. In the same way, dimethyl ether and cyclohexane in the equal proportions. Mobile phase chambers and development techniques. The mobile phase chambers are used to place the mobile phase, and after placing mobile phase in the mobile phase chambers, we are placing or dipping the Whatman filter paper or stationary phase on which the samples are applied. This type of mobile phase chambers commonly used in the paper chromatography. So after placing or dipping the paper into the mobile phase chamber, it will be looks like the second diagram what we have represented. So here one precaution we have compulsory take while we are dipping or immersing the paper into the mobile phase. That time the baseline should be over the mobile phase. It should not be immersed into the mobile phase. So after placing the paper in the mobile phase is traveling over the stationary phase according to the capillary action. During this process, along with the mobile phase, the mixture of samples or components also traveling based on their relative affinity. Some compounds will be travels faster, some compounds will be travels with very low capacity or low affinity. Development techniques. After the mobile phase is traveling around 80% of the stationary phase, then we have to remove the paper and dry it. So while we are performing the paper chromatography, we are using different techniques. The different techniques are nothing but one dimensional technique and two dimensional technique. In one dimensional technique, we have vertical development and horizontal development. First, we are discussing vertical development. In this vertical development, the first one is ascending paper chromatography. In this ascending paper chromatography, the mobile phase is traveling from bottom of the paper to the top against the gravity. It will be takes more time to separate the compounds. We have to wait for more time. This is the ascending paper chromatography. In this ascending paper chromatography, we are keeping mobile phase at the bottom of the paper and we are applying the samples at the bottom of the paper. Descending paper chromatography. It is opposite to the ascending paper chromatography. In descending paper chromatography, we are applying the sample at the top of the paper and the mobile phase is also placed in the top of the paper. So here the mobile phase is traveling in the same direction of the gravitational force. That's why the mobile phase travels very fast and the samples also separated in very fraction of seconds. It takes very less time. Ascending descending paper chromatography. In this ascending descending paper chromatography, first the mobile phase is traveling in the ascending direction up to certain extent of time. After that, we are the mobile phase is traveling into the descending direction. So it is a combination of ascending and descending chromatography. It is mainly used for separation of the compounds which will takes more time for separation. Horizontal development technique. In horizontal development technique, we are placing the paper in radial horizontal manner. The one example for horizontal development technique is radial chromatography. So here we have to take a radial shape or circular shape Whatman filter paper. At the middle of the Whatman filter paper, we have to make a one hole and place a one wick, and around the wick 1 centimeter from the wick we have to make a one circle. On this circle samples are applied. Then the circular paper is placed on a petri dish which is having the mobile phase. Due to the wick, the mobile phase is traveling over the circular paper. During this process, the samples also separated. After mobile phase is traveling over the paper up to 80%, then we have to remove the wick and keep aside for drying. Two-dimensional paper chromatography. In this two-dimensional paper chromatography, first we are developing in the vertical direction, nothing but the ascending paper chromatography. After that, we have to remove the paper and dry it. Again, we have to change the direction of the paper from the vertical to horizontal, nothing but 90 degrees or right angle. Then again we have to make a one baseline, place the samples and run the samples by using the mobile phase. 2 times same chromatographic paper we are using for 2 times, in first in vertical direction, then in horizontal direction. That's why we are calling it as two-dimensional spectroscopy. So we are using for 2 times. So that's why we are calling it as two-dimensional paper chromatography. In this two-dimensional paper chromatography, mainly we are using for separation of a complex molecules. After development, we have to remove the paper from the mobile phase chambers and dry for 5 to 10 minutes to remove the whatever the mobile phase. Then we have to spray some reagents to detect or visualize the spots of the sample. For that purpose, we are using two methods. One first method is non-specific method. The second method is specific method. In non-specific methods, iodine chamber method we are using, sulfuric acid method, UV chamber method, fluorescent stationary phase method. Iodine chamber method used, in this method whatever the paper developed paper will be there, it will be exposed to the iodine vapors. So it will be give a brown spots at what place the compound is present. Sulfuric acid reagent, when we spray the sulfuric acid reagent, so the compounds or the spots look like a black color spots. UV chamber method, when we are placing our developed plates or paper in the UV chamber, that time due to this UV radiation we are seeing the some spots and we have to mark that spots. Specific methods, the specific methods mainly used for some specific compounds, mainly depending upon their chemical nature. For phenolic compounds or tannins, we are using ferric chloride. We have to spray the ferric chloride for the phenol compounds. That time we are getting the spots. In the same way for amino acids, ninhydrin agent, for alkaloids, Drazenhoff reagent. For cardiac glycosides, the specific reagent we are using is 3,4 dinitrobenzoic acid. For carbonyl compounds like aldehydes and ketones, we are using 3,4 dinitrophenylhydrogen, nothing but 2,4 DNP. So here we are representing the one diagram. So initially the diagram is during the performing the paper chromatography, so we are keeping the paper like that in the mobile phase chamber. After removing that, after visualization, we are getting spots like this. We have to measure the distance traveled by the solvent and distance traveled by each and every sample which are represented with the colored spots and calculate their RF value. The RF value is nothing but distance traveled by solute by distance traveled by the solvent. So this RF value mainly used for qualitative analysis or identification of compounds. So no two compounds having similar RF values in the solvent system. The RF values every time less than 1. It doesn't have any units because it's a ratio.